One thing we can get from Richard Driehaus, it's to make buildings more of the people and make buildings more of the communities in which we build.
Very few private citizens have advocated for architecture to the extent that Richard has. His foundation alone has given away over $100 million in the past 20 years to various causes, many of which are related to the built environment.
Richard grew up in a neighborhood on the south side of Chicago called Brainerd, a wonderful neighborhood full of typical Chicago bungalows, walkable streets, and a lot of institutions that help support culture and inquiry and study. Growing up in that rich cultural environment really had a big impact on him.
He was educated at St. Margaret's School, and the nuns that taught him, one of the biggest things that they taught everyone in the school was give back.
From his paper routes and all, he's actually accumulated quite a lot of money, and then started investing at 10 or 11, became quite brilliant at that. So I went to DePaul, went to work for an investment firm, and they gave him this client, just knocked it out of the park, and then all of a sudden he started to get, a whole collection of very important people that were wanting to work with him. So finally he left and opened his own firm.
When you start to apply that lens, sense of place, to everything that he does, to me it makes a lot more sense then. That he's helping to preserve sense of place.
In 1986, he started the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation, and it supports many aspects of life in Chicago. So theater, dance, architecture institutions and programs, journalism, investigative reporting.
Notre Dame's School of Architecture administrates the Driehaus Prize, and this is a mutually reinforcing relationship because of their school being committed to the classical language in architecture, and Richard being committed to wanting to foster that, brings to their students all kinds of intellects and perspectives on the classical language.
He has funded many projects, competitions, which in some cases have led to very avant-garde architects winning the awards. He funds the Neighborhood Redevelopment Awards, which awards fine projects that are built within the various neighborhoods of Chicago. He funded the Burnham Prize. He also has funded the restoration of Old St. Pat's Church, and those are only a few.
The series of lectures that he's also underwritten in his workshops, it's getting back to what makes Chicago one of the architectural capitals of the world. And our historic architecture is why people come here. And Millennium Park contributes to that whole reason why people, and it's very contemporary. So people are coming to see the evolution of architecture over 200 years in Chicago.
I think it's good that the AIA is recognizing a private citizen who is passionate and concerned and willing to put his money where his mouth is.